Bram Stoker was born in Ireland in 1847. He spent most of his childhood in bed due to a strange disease. His imagination was also fitted by the horror stories his mother used to tell him while he was spending long hours in bed. So it's not casual that Stoker's work is centered in the endless rest and the resurrection of the dead. At the age of 8, the miracle occurred. A surprising healing left his doctors unspoken. Henceforward, Stoker led a perfectly healthful life, even as a sportive young man, and once he moved to London, he worked as a writer and as a secretary of Sir James Irving. In 1897, he published Dracula, originally called Jonathan Harker's Journal. The whole book is written as a diary, completed with documents, letters, phonographic recordings, transcriptions, and journalistic articles. This literary research permitted the author to tell fantastic and unbelievable stories in a realistic way. Transylvania is the perfect background for the novel. Border of the West civilization, a mystic halo of superstition and orthodox faith, a mixture of races and ethnicities. Stoker uses part of the folk history to give life to a local and frightened hero called Count Vlad the Besh, descendant from Attila, leader of the Unic Empire. At the end of the 19th century, London was afflicted by tuberculosis, the blood disease, which brought into people's imagination the idea of vampirism. Local news were a source of inspiration for Stoker. Dracula has been interpreted thousands of times in the cinema and in television, but the genesis is in this book. The historic background of a fascinating and powerful hero in disgrace, like a fallen angel. Stoker digs into the most private and profound matters through the stories of the characters, the sacrifice and the blood, the good and the evil, life and death, the challenge towards God and love, makes of Dracula an incomparable novel written in a revolutionary way. Bram Stoker died in London in 1912. Dracula, his main character, has completely eclipsed its author, from whom no one would remember his name if it wasn't for the film directed in 1992 by Francis Ford Coppola called Bram Stoker's Dracula. Love never dies. Oceans of Time. As soon as Mina meets Dracula, it seems to her that he knows him from always. Did you ever meet someone you felt you knew from another life?
I shouldn't have come here. I must go.
Do not fear me.
Stop this! Stop this! Stop this!
Esame.
God, who are you? I know you.
I have crossed oceans of time to find you.
The true desire of the human being is to love and to be loved back. And this hope is within all us, and in most of the literature, to begin with, Romeo and Juliet of William Shakespeare. Mina discovers that she had been the Princess Elisabetta, the fiancée of Dracula. Reincarnation is the key in the love story of the film.
Flowing white. her face. Oh. Her face. It's a river. The princess. She's a river filled with tears of sadness and heartbreak.
There was a princess. Elisabetta. She was the most radiant woman in all the empires of the world. Man's deceit took her from her ancient prince. She leapt to her death into the river that you spoke of. In my mother's tongue, it is called Arcesh. River Princess.
Who wouldn't give until the last drop of blood for a love like this? Relying upon the scriptural phrase, for the blood is the life. This movie turns into impossible not to dream with such a passionate encounter at any price.
You are my love and my life always.
Then I give you life eternal, everlasting love, the power of the storm and the beasts of the earth. Walk with me to be my loving wife forever.
Well, yes, yes.
Drink and join me in eternal life.
Mina and Dracula meet again after 400 years of separation.
Release us all from the powers of darkness. Our love is stronger than death.
Give me peace.
In the book, the love story between Dracula and Mina doesn't exist, but still, the very strong message of the novel is that all love is sacrifice. When you lose someone you really love, life can only be lived with the hope of finding him again.